The governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia, Boasedi, has reported that the Gambian Dalasi experienced depreciation against major foreign currencies in the first quarter of 2025, despite stable market conditions and a generally positive economic outlook. Speaking at the Monetary Policy Committee press conference on Thursday, Governor Sedi disclosed that between January and March 2025, the Dalasi weakened by 1.7% against the US dollar, 0.2% against the British pound sterling, and 0.5% against the CFA franc. However, it appreciated by 1.2% against the euro over the same period. Governor Sedi emphasized that despite these fluctuations, the exchange rate of the Dalasi remains broadly stable, supported by improved market confidence and stronger foreign currency supply conditions.
The United States continued to be the largest source of diaspora remittances, accounting for 26.3% of total inflows during the quarter. The exchange rate of the Dalasi continued to be relatively stable, reflecting improved market conditions, reflecting improved market confidence and supply conditions. From January to March 2025, the Dalasi depreciated against the United States dollar by 1.7%, the British pound sterling by 0.2%, the CFA franc by 0.5%. However, the domestic currency appreciated against the euro by 1.2% during the review period. The central bank continues to hold comfortable level of international reserves amounting to $508.54 million US dollars as at end of May 2025. This is sufficient to finance over 4.6 months of prospective imports of goods and services.
On the domestic front, the central bank projects sustained economic growth for 2025 and the medium term. Citing preliminary figures from the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, Governor Saidi revealed that real GDP grew by 5.3% in 2024, an increase from the reverse 5.0% growth rate in 2023.
Preliminary estimates from the Gambia Bureau of Statistics indicated that real GDP expanded by 5.3% in 2024, higher than the 5.0% revised figure for 2023. Growth was supported by strong performance in the services and industry sectors. Agriculture, on the other hand, contracted by 1.1% in 2024, due mainly to unfavorable weather conditions during the past rainy season.
Looking ahead, the bank anticipates that the Gambian economy will expand by 6.5% in 2025, driven by improved business sentiment, ongoing public infrastructure investments, and growth in key sectors including tourism, financial services, and telecommunications. Despite this positive trajectory, Governor Sedi cautioned that the economy remains susceptible to external risk such as global commodity price volatility, international trade disruptions, and climate-related challenges.
The findings of the central bank's business sentiment survey reveal cautious optimism among respondents, with firms expecting a gradual improvement in economic activity in the next quarter. Inflation expectations remain elevated but have started declining. On the external front, preliminary balance of payments estimate showed an improved current account in the first quarter of 2025, driven by stronger tourism receipts, steady remittances, and lower electricity imports. The deficit narrowed to $13.2 million US dollars, or 0.6% of GDP, in the first quarter of 2025, from $21.1 million US dollars, or 0.9% of GDP, in the fourth quarter of 2024. The deficit in the goods account narrowed from $297.1 million or 13.0% of GDP in the fourth quarter of 2024 to $248.1 million or 10.3% of GDP in the first quarter of 2025.
Turning to the external sector, Governor Sedi reported notable improvements in the Gambia's balance of payments, fueled by increased tourism earnings, stable remittance inflows, and a reduction in electricity imports. According to the governor, the current account deficit narrowed to $13.2 million in the first quarter of 2025, down from $21.1 million in the previous quarter. The trade deficit also declined, falling from $297.1 million in the fourth quarter of 2024 to $248.1 million in the first quarter of 2025. Private remittance inflows, a critical source of foreign exchange for the country, reached $207.9 million in the first quarter of 2025, up from $187.2 million in the fourth quarter of 2024. The United States remains the largest source of remittance, accounting for 26.3% of the total inflows. Reporting for Kerfatu, I am Buba Gajigo.